Good day. As you know, I am Kaylin, and in today's training session, we're going to follow up with the after the overview video that we done, where we're going to now break things down. And in this class, we're discussing access rights. So, as mentioned before in the other video, you need to ensure that this feature has been enabled. This can be done in the configuration module. Obviously, you require the access module to be activated on your license. But then you can go to the Features window, Access Control tab, and make sure that the access rights option is ticked here in order for you to be able to set those up then. Once that feature is enabled, you can go and set up some default access rights that you can obviously use and select for each employee. This gets done in your setup menu under access control and then access rights. So there, by default, there's the all areas 1, so that'll be set 0. You can obviously go and add in different access rights if you want to. I've already got an admin only one here, and we're going to add a second one where they're only allowed to go into the factory and the turnstile clock. So just to show you, I've got 3 devices configured here, admin, factory, and the front turnstile. Let's just minimize this. And those are the 3 that I'm going to be using to do my setup here. So in this case, what we're going to do is we're going to set up one that they're allowed to clock at the factory and they're allowed to come in at the turnstile. So let's close that. Click on the add button. Now you're going to see in this case, now if I go and put in, so let's call this factory. And let's just say factory workers, you'll see that I've got absolutely no devices here that I can select, who can clock in and out of those devices. The reason for this, if we go to our device setup again, and I go and click on, now I've got CS time clocks set up here, so it depends on which clock you've got, configured in your system. I'm going to change on this one, so I'm clicking on the child clock that I'm going to change, and you'll see that this clock is only set to a payroll type clock. In order for it to be able to control any access control features for that clock, you need to obviously choose the access control option. You'll immediately see that there's another tab that gets added on the left hand side here. If we click on access control, you'll see that you can either then go and disable time zones, or you can go and assign a default time zone to that clock. We'll discuss that in a later video when we do the whole time zone thing. But the access rights part is what you need to look at now. You'll see that there's an access point number. We need to go and add in an access point number here. So in this case, just for easy reference, what I'm going to do is the clock number that I've used here, 1, 2, and 3, I'm going to use those as the access point numbers as well. So I'm going to put that on 1. Now you can obviously say default is no access. In that case, you would have to go and set up clock overrides, and you can also obviously lock that clock. If there is, for some reason, there's perhaps a strike or something and you want to just lock this device down, you can just go and tick that and do that. Okay, so let me just quickly set this on the other devices. Go change, make it an access clock, go to the access control tab and make this one 2. And let's do the same with this one, access control, and this is 3. Okay, so let's close that. Let's just refresh the screen. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to say OK, and I'm just going to simply change that again, and you'll see now we have our 3 devices here. So in this case, you can say with the factory workers, are they allowed to go at the clock at the admin reader? Yes or no. Are they allowed to clock in or out? So obviously I'm going to set that to no. They are allowed to click at the factory reader, and they're allowed to clock in and out on that reader. And then obviously to change this, you would have to double click that. And then this last one is whether it's controlling a door or not. So the turnstile, it's kind of like a door thing, but this one perhaps doesn't have a door. It's just a simple factory clock that's there. Or else if you do have it, the clock set up on a door that it would actually access the factory, you would obviously set that to yes. Okay, so let's click on OK. And we've got that area set up. Now if we go and take a look, let's just see on the all areas. I'm going to change that. And I just want to see, I think I do have, guys, yes, set up in that access right. So you'll see on this tab, you can see all these employees have been assigned to that access right. Obviously, if I'm going to go to the new one, not going to see too much going on there. Okay, so that's configuring the access right. So now you've gone and set all those things up there. We click on Save and Close to send that through to the user module. And let's go on over to the user module. I'm going to click on my name again, click on Change, And let's go to access control. And now if we click on the access rights, we will see that our new access right has been added there. As soon as I select that, click OK, it'll send that information down to the relevant devices and say yes, he may clock here or he may not clock here. And that's access rights. So that's the easy, just simply setting who may clock when, where, sorry. The time zones is the when. So that we'll discuss in the next video. I'll show you how to configure these time zones, and we can come and assign this to an employee as well then. I hope that you've learned something and that you'll join me in the next video. Goodbye.